Today I'm going to talk about the most radical practice for the new year is being yourself. And this was inspired by today's current gene key in transit, gene key 10. I'm going to be sharing more about that, the gene keys, and a very simple practice that you can do through these holidays, through this pause, and help you ground more into your own inner wisdom. So, welcome again, and I just want to presence this timing that we're in. We are right after the solstice, we're before the new year, and so we're in this pause, this liminal in-between moment, and it's a time that many of us feel a lot of anxiety, stress with the holidays and the coming new year. So if you're feeling that, I want you to know you're in the exact right place to be. If you're new to me, my name is Aurora Anurca Farber. I'm an intuitive guide, a gene keys guide as well, and a spiritual mentor. And I love working with the moon. I love working with the rhythms of nature, intuition, the gene keys, and all the wayfinding ways that help us stay on our path and help us walk an embodied, authentic lifestyle. Once again, if you're feeling this pressure, this end of the year pressure, I just want you to know that this is what happens when we come to the end of the year. There's this time where we look back and we look at our year and we look back to the goals we had at the beginning of the year and we say, did I do well? Did I not do well? We might be wanting to set some resolutions for the next year, often based on maybe what we didn't accomplish. And there's that sense of not enoughness that can come at this time of year. There's also this sense of, maybe next year I'll be someone new. I don't want to be the way I was in this past year. In addition to that, we have the holiday stress, the roles, the comparison, the performing, this kind of strange energy that here we are at this time of the year seasonally where we're meant to go in. And then there's this kind of pressure to be out and having parties and celebrating and all of that. If you're feeling this, if you're feeling tired or uncertain or maybe even tender because of this, just know that this is in the field, this is in the collective right now, and you're not behind. You're simply a human living in this world. So what I want to share today, inspired by this gene key, is about being over becoming, to let go of that temptation to be something more, but instead to be. And that's why I say that the most radical act for this new year is not becoming someone new. It's being more deeply yourself, being true to who you are, honoring your energy, honoring your wisdom, honoring your body, this vessel. This is the feminine wisdom path. And it's all about this idea, almost like a seedling, a plant, that growth emerges from presence, your presence here, now, and not from pressure, not external pressure, and not even the internal pressure that we often unconsciously put on ourselves. And change can happen more naturally in this way, just like a seedling that just is there and is feeling the presence of the soil and the water and the sun that's giving it warmth. This is what I want to invite you into. And this is inspired again by the current gene key in transit. If you don't know about the gene keys, they're a marvelous source of wisdom created by Richard Rudd. And I'm delighted to be a gene keys guide. This has been my path for almost a decade now. And each one of us have specific gene keys that help us understand our purpose, help us to open our heart, and help us to lean into our prosperity. And in addition, the gene keys move like the planets in this kind of transitory way. And so right now, the energy that is here to inspire us and that inspire this talk is gene key 10. So each gene key has a frequency band. There's the shadow level, there's the gift level, and then there's the highest gift called the siddhi. And so just take these words in, even if you don't know much about the gene keys, just feel into how your body responds to the shadow of self-obsession and the gift of naturalness and the siddhi, the highest gift of being. The shadow, which has to do so much with self-obsession, which is about checking ourselves, monitoring ourselves, fixing ourselves, judging ourselves, we become obsessed with how are we doing, how are we moving forward in life, or if we're not. There's this way in which we can, in Spanish you say, come el coco. You can just eat your brain thinking about all the different ways that we can become self-obsessed. And yet, this shadow holds the seed of a gift. And the gift is naturalness. It's the ability to relax into who you are, to show up as your true authentic self, which is the highest gift. This is where your being becomes presence as leadership. Let those words marinate in your mind for a while and see how you feel about them. When we soften our self-judgment, that's when our natural wisdom can emerge. So what I wanted to share with you today is a practice that I was inspired to do. I love to practice 40 days of devotion, and I aligned this one with the solstice. So this is only my second or third day of doing this. But this was inspired by a vision I have. Again, I'm an intuitive. I carry Gene Key 57, if you know about the Gene Keys, as my life's work. That's about unease to clarity via intuition. And so often I follow the intuitive breadcrumbs that the universe gives me, and it helps me become more in alignment with my spirit, my soul, my body. And so the one that I got for this time was a jar with wings. And so my practice is called the vessel of being. And this is a very simple practice, and I brought a jar. You can use any jar or container at home, and it's a way to notice what you're holding, what you're ready to release, and what wants to move through you. Very simply, all you do is you have a vessel, and if you don't have a vessel right now as you're watching, just hold yourself, because remember, you are the vessel. You are the vessel. And so holding this vessel or holding your hands at your heart, you can just take a moment to breathe and center. As you hold this vessel, feel what you are carrying emotionally, mentally, spiritually, what is present in your heart and mind right now. Allow that to come with no judgment, just noticing. You might want to loosen your grip on your jar or around your heart, maybe give it a few little flutters. And now imagine what is ready to be released, not forced, just softened. What feels heavy or stagnant? And what is it that you're willing to let go of today? This is a Gene Key practice. Allow, accept, embrace. So let's just allow this to come through. Remembering that this release is not about losing anything. It's about allowing space for what's new. And that leads to the final step, which is holding the vessel here at heart level. Just sense from this place of release, the spaciousness, what wants to move through you, what wants to be offered through you as a vessel of the divine. It might be your presence, your kindness, your truth, your clarity, your very beingness, and knowing that just that is enough. That is enough. It's more than enough. Being yourself is the offering that the world most needs right now. Feel the truth of that. Being yourself is what the world needs right now. And so I wanted to share again the simple process. You can put some scripts in your jar if you like. It's so simple. I hold, I release, I offer. My example today, before I came on to this, I did this practice. And so what I wrote is, I hold fluttery nervousness, especially with tech. I release perfection, and I offer presence. So I hope that this is very helpful to you, and this is something that you can work through the new year. And One other thing I'd like to share is, as we come into the new year, maybe there is a way in which we can reframe this so that we can come in with our naturalness, our beingness, our authenticity. And instead of asking, like we so often do, who should I be? Who should I become? Instead, ask, where can I soften into myself? Because you are enough. You are magnificent. You are a luminous light. And it's by allowing these shadows to emerge, to transform into gifts, that's how we come into the fullness of ourselves. I hope that this was helpful for you. And if you feel called to explore this path further, this wonderful world of the Gene Keys, I have, and I'll put in the comments or in the box above, a free Gene Key profile and a free video called Your Invitation to the Gene Keys, so you can check out your own unique shadows, gifts, and cities. They are a wonderful way to reflect on your unique patterns and notice your shadows, and of course, embrace and honor and live your gifts. This is how we remember who we truly are. So as we move into the new year, just remember that being yourself is not passive. It's a radical act of trust. It's trusting that you are so much, you are wonderful, you are magnificent, you are more than enough. And I hope that this resonates with you. I hope that this is a tiny seed that has been planting in your knowingness of who you are. And I leave you with this blessing. May this year meet you where you are, and may your presence be your offering. Thank you, beloved, for your presence, for your gifts. It is such an honor to be here with you now. Many blessings and a happy new year.